Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, non-binaries. Welcome back to another installation of Black Seinfeld, the one and only show about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It's the one and only Trinidadi Panamanian Poppy Rude Boy Top Gunna Suck Panyamada, aka NY Ninjas, are undefeated. Back to back champions, the trifecta. We got the trifecta. Free from New York, the real New York. We outside.
Yo, what's going on? It's Bashtin. This recording live from Queens. Geo is in Brooklyn. What's going on, folks?
Thank you all so much once again for tuning into another episode live here on 99.5 FM from midnight to 2 in the morning. But we also have our fans that tune into the podcast. So greetings to all of the podcast listeners. Greetings to everyone that's hopefully, is this going to be on YouTube, this one, or no?
No, I'll let you know like a whole 2 weeks ahead of time.
Okay. Well, soon
and
we'll
also
be back
you
on
need
YouTube.
The thing is you need to because I design most of the cover work, the artwork.
Yes, you do.
The YouTube design layout. So you need to approve that before we start it. So yeah.
Fair enough. But anyways, welcome back to another episode. We have all of our podcasts listening to us on all podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, Audible, Pandora, and much more RSS feed outlets, Podomatic as well. But also we have blackseinfeld.com too if that stresses you out. So you could just go to blackseinfeld.com and you have all of our latest and greatest episodes. Also, hey, if you'd like to leave a comment, if you'd like to shoot us an email, if you want to, put yourself out there and risk it all and send us music, we always say good luck. We're going to listen, but 90% of the time we're not going to like it. blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. But don't give up. Don't lose hope, because there can be one. We played music before that people send us in and we liked. I played Wiffle Fit before. I played 1020 before. I played some tracks from Romicon before. I played some stuff, people. Don't get discouraged. Okay, I'm just giving you some examples of we play music that you send in. It's hard to impress us, man.
Word.
Yeah, don't be sounding like Corday and them. Anyways, did I miss anything? Oh, we also have our social medias, Black Seinfeld NY, which is our Twitter handle. It's our Instagram handle. We have Facebook as well, Black Seinfeld, and that's about it. Subscribe to YouTube.
For real. Hey, how are you, bro?
I'm doing pretty well, Bashtin. I've been happy for the past couple of weeks. We've had that snowstorm. Yeah, it's technically a snowstorm for us here in New York. Other states in the Northeast, they got slammed hard. It was a blizzard over there, but for us it wasn't that crazy, I feel.
I think it was. I do think it was, because the best way to understand the weather is waking up in the morning and seeing how much of the sidewalk is done. Now, Gio, do you shovel?
I do. I have a house.
Yes. So about the shoveling, what time? When do you start shoveling? When the snow starts? While it's still going? Like what do you and your dad do?
Normally, I would wait for the snow to be completely done snowing and then go outside and shovel. Sometimes, depending on how much snow we get, I'll go outside one time to get like a passage going. I wouldn't clean out the entire driveway. I would try and clear out the steps and create a passage for my family and I to go in and out of the house, and I'll clear out some of the sidewalk. I wouldn't get the driveway. I wouldn't get any of that stuff. I keep it really simple.
Okay.
What about you? What's your techniques?
No, very similar to you. I don't have a driveway though, so it's mostly the street where we park the cars. We have 2 cars in my family, so we try to get the snow off to make sure we could drive in if you need a parallel park or come in from the back.
Mm.
And then we started shoveling around 2 p.m. because that's when it pretty much stopped snowing.
Yeah, and the sun came around 3 or 4. I have a question for you though, as far as your streets are concerned. When the trucks come to shovel, to clear out the streets, do they push the snow aside to the right side of the street or the left side?
So the thing about my street, it is a two-way street,
Oh,
and in the middle there's islands with like grass and trees.
okay.
So they tend to put it to the left, and it just kind of stacks up there, so it doesn't really hinder anything for
Ooh,
the whole entire neighborhood. So we're pretty clean on that front.
that's fortunate for you, man. For my area, it's completely different because I live on a one-way street and they always plow to the right side of the street. So if you're parked on the right side of the street, then it's going to be a lot more effort for you to shovel your stuff out. Also, we also have driveways too, and they plow towards the right. So there's like a snowy wall, if you will, that you have to dig your stuff out of, just in case if you want to park your car in your driveway too. If I'm
And I
making
do
sense?
think, yeah, that makes sense. I hope the listeners understood that, because it's very easy to make a mountain that will last, I can say maybe a month more than the snow on the ground. So if the snow is like four
Hmm.
inches or less, it'll be gone by the end of the week because the amount of sunlight that we're getting. But if you decide to make a mountain, that might last for another 3 more weeks due to the
Depending on the
weather.
weather. Exactly,
Yeah.
correct.
So
Depending on the
it's
weather.
so it's been pretty cold lately, but it's been extremely sunny,
Yes.
and it kind of helps us out in terms of like what's on the ground. So like I said, if it's like less than 4 inches, it's already gone. But if it's a little bit more, it's just getting shorter and shorter. And I think by next week, we could say like most of the snow would have been disappeared by now.
Yeah. Well, by the time our listeners are listening to this, it can either be raining. It's going to be raining for the next 2 days. So I predict by Saturday, it's going to be over.
I think we'll still see a lot because it's all about how much you clean
Mm,
in the neighborhood.
that is true.
My neighborhood has been doing a much better job now than before. I do think because the people in my neighborhood, there's a lot less kids growing up.
Okay.
I don't know what that says, but maybe like the I guess they're older now, so they could actually help out the parents, so they could shovel it. I always almost blamed it on neighbors on the corner, because if
Mm,
you have a corner street, I think that's the most important part to clean. I think you should
100%.
invest in the snow blower or whatever type of technology they have.
Yeah.
But if you're on just the regular flat inside and you only have maybe 6 feet, no, not 6 feet, maybe like 12 feet of snow that you have to from left to right that you have to shovel, then you'd rather buy that nice shovel from Home Depot and just deal with it.
Quality shovel, quality salt is all you need. I know some people use sand. I also see like it's like the blue salt. It's like a blue dye salt that's thrown out sometimes as well.
Yeah, I think us New Yorkers have to use salt, but I think
It's
people in
necessary.
Canada use sand
Ooh.
because of the all year round type thing. I don't know if it's all year round.
No,
I
it's
know
not
they
all
have
year
their own.
round.
I know they have their summers, but they do get snow a lot more than we do.
Very
So
frequent.
I remember when I was like, selling cars, snow tires are very, very important. And they always ask us questions about snow tires and where to get them,
Hmm.
especially if they're from Canada, because it's that necessary. So I didn't know, because we don't, if you look at the streets, it's very, very rarely that you'll see snow tires in terms of like you'll see chains on tires.
Right. Yeah,
The
we
only
don't really
time,
need those here,
yeah,
at least.
yeah, because there's not one, we're not in hills. Two, we're pretty quick with the streets. But three, I think the only time you ever see it is our public transportation. So you might see it in the
Definitely.
bus. But
Absolutely.
other than that, we don't really deal with snow tires.
No, snow tires. I mean, like I know we asked for like all-wheel drive, and I know some snow tires do come into play, but again, it's like the car conversation that we had 2 weeks ago.
And like winter tires are different though.
Yeah, winter tires are completely different. It's like the similar conversation we had 2 weeks ago about cars here in New York. Is a lot of us now have like either vans, SUVs, trucks,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because they're great for this kind of weather. One, and also it's really good for the roads that happens too. Because what happens is when for a couple of weeks we've been getting false alarms of snowstorms that's been supposedly coming to New York, and they haven't been happening. So to prepare for these snowstorms, a lot of the times the sanitation department, they like to throw out salt before the snowstorm actually happens. But what you don't know is, for those of you who don't have that much snow in your area, the salt, it goes in the cracks of the roads, and it helps. It actually cracks the roads a little bit.
Yeah. I do think it has to do with like rain as well. So if it rained and ice, it freezes, it opens, and that's where we get all these potholes. And it's very disturbing. As someone that drives a very low car, those potholes could really ruin your day.
It can mess up those shocks.
Oh yeah, very easily too. But yeah, I do understand why like people like countries like Canada don't rely so much on salt. But like us in New York, we pretty much, even back then when it used to snow a lot more, we pretty much only have like maybe 2 to 3 real snowstorms, and that's pretty much it.
Right. Even nowadays, for the past couple of years, we've only had, I want to say, like one major snowstorm, and then that's been it. We've been smooth sailing ever since.
And I think we only had one mistake in terms of when this city didn't really do anything to prepare and it froze the roads.
I
And
do remember that.
it got a lot of traffic. If you're coming from the city, you're probably stuck.
Yeah, you're stuck
Feeling
on the
like you're
GWB, I believe.
you're feeling like you're in like down south in Georgia and there's
Right.
snow on the ground and that's it.
Yeah, it's like you're trapped in this alternate universe for some reason. Like, this doesn't happen here in New York.
So we should be clean. It's ice
Absolutely.
outside, man. So
Absolutely, man.
shout out to the snow.
What have you been up to, bro?
Same old, same old. Really focus on finding different ways and different themes for Black Seinfeld for the YouTube channel. I think the problem we had before is everything was too dark
Yeah.
and all the files were just way too big for me to export. So I've been doing a lot of research on how to use Premiere for my advantage. And that's pretty much my main goal right now, is to find better technology where I don't have to spend more than like 2 hours maximum editing a video, and even exporting it so we could start the TikToks again.
When my next check comes in, because I've been saving money because Christmas, it did a huge dent in my wallet and my savings and all of that. When I get my next check in, I'm going to go ahead and get a new MacBook. It's been 10 years because the previous MacBook I've had was the 2012 MacBook Pro, but now it's time. I'm getting that M1 chip so I can now go back to contributing to the show, editing wise, audio wise, and I'm very excited about this. I'm happy about this because I'll now be in season with my tech, except
Oh
for my
yeah.
XR, but you know.
So what you gonna get? The 14-inch
Yeah,
M1 Pro,
I'll get the 14-inch
not the
M1 Pro.
16-inch.
No, nah, I ain't about that life yet.
All right, but yeah, the new MacBooks are pretty expensive, but pretty interesting too. I do think if you're a creator out there, I did recommend it. A lot of YouTube channels recommended it too.
Right.
I'm looking to get one maybe later this year, the 16-inch M1 Max, so we could do a little bit more interesting videos down the future.
Yeah, because it's actually meant for us now. Those laptops are now meant for editing. That's
No, I think they were always meant for editing. I think now it's like
a faster edit. It's a faster upload time.
it's equivalent to like the iMacs now.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I am jiggy with it. So, and that will pretty much help us with the brand. But yeah, Black Seinfeld, we're always expanding. We're always trying to change and improve ourselves. This is still the new year. This is
That's right.
also Black History Month.
That's right, baby. Black
And-
History Month. That's right. It's our time. This is our month. If you white, don't listen to the show. All right, I'm joking. That was too much. I'm sorry. My
And
bad.
the other day was Chinese New Year as well.
That's right. The Year of the Tiger. Should have started off with Eye of the Tiger.
No,
That's corny.
that's great. Yeah, that's doing too much with thematic music. But it's Black History Month. We do the same thing every year in terms of talking about. But I feel like we do it every day when we talk about
Right.
issues that's going on in the community today.
Absolutely.
Everybody's celebrating Black History Month. So
Word.
unless you're powered or endorsed by a company. I was watching the Knicks game. It's like Black History sponsored by Chase. I was like, oh man.
I was just about to make a joke about that. It's like, hey, everyone in the podcasting universe, if you want to sponsor us for Black History Month, hey, we're black. We have a show with black in the title. That should give us all the merit in the world. Hey, McDonald's, you love putting black people in your commercials. How about you sponsor us for an episode of Black Seinfeld?
Oh, you're talking about that recent commercial?
That's exactly. And all the McDonald's commercials. Remember the R&B dude singing about McNuggets? And I'm thinking this is like an actual album coming out or a song coming out. But no, it's this dude singing about how he wants some of his girls' chicken nuggets. Do you remember that?
No. I blank out most. No, I don't remember
That's
that.
an iconic commercial. Just look up R&B McDonald's chicken nugget song on YouTube, and it'll first one pops up. I swear.
And when I was watching the Knicks game and I saw like sponsored by Chase, I was like, yeah, you just gotta throw a little corporate behind something.
right.
You need everything to be sponsored. And I do remember us talking about that many years ago, talking about like the Pride Parade, how everything has like a float sponsor, for example, T-Mobile, and it just
In
I don't know,
rainbow.
piggybacks. I think it just piggybacks whatever month that we're trying to promote, because every month does promote something of importance. But I do think we tend to forget like what the month is meant to do, especially if you're not in school. So when you're in the real world, what's Black History Month to you? It's like, I don't know, whatever you see someone talk about on Twitter. Because if your corporation's saying something about Black History Month, then I was like, all right, we're gonna look at this the entire year. Something suspicious happened in March. I'm gonna point to last month. So
Hey, March is going to be Women's History Month, so keep your eye out for that too. They're gonna where the companies are gonna highlight amazing badass women that work for the companies and for the corporations, and they're
girl
gonna give
boss.
exactly hashtag girl boss. There you go. You saw homies Netflix show Bo Burnham. You saw his stuff.
Yeah, remind me.
Oh, he had this one segment of his movie where he had a song about like a lot of cringy Instagram white girl stuff. So like like women entrepreneurs and a lot of those Instagram filters where he gives us a picture of this like nice environment, this nice atmosphere. Then he's in the front, he's in the camera frame, and he has like a flower or they're drinking like coffee and it says hashtag girl boss, or it's a picture of them on a computer and smiling.
Okay, I get it. It's pretty much the energy that we're going on, almost like Wesam Caleb type energy.
Exactly. That's exactly the trends that pop culture and corporation now are now adopting, and a lot of the internet is just cringing and laughing at it. So it's really good. But again, McDonald's, please sponsor us. We want that snack wrap back.
Gotcha. And let's get into our first topic of today.
Yes, because
Speaking
Bashtin,
of companies,
it is an update to a previous episode that we've done exactly 1 year ago. And this is our yearly update. We have a 1 year book report update for the listeners that is really important for them to receive this information, to understand this information, because we are in a land full of cryptocurrency, and with that cryptocurrency comes a lot of opportunists. I feel like that's the best way to say it. There's a lot of opportunists. When there's something new that's out, and when there's something that's unregulated, and when there's something that can generate a lot of money, there's a lot of shady businesses that come with that, Bashtin. And with that, I will hand it over to you. I would like for you to take it from here.
NFT stands for non-fungible token, which basically means that it's a one-of-a-kind digital asset that belongs to you and only you. We started out as an interesting way to use a blockchain. It's now a fast lane to quick cash, and it's like a quick cash out for people to make out of them.
Which is pullouts.
And the word of the day is minted. I'm going to say the word minted a lot. It's
Mm-hmm.
which means a user making a token on the blockchain.
Yes.
And I'm not going to get too much into talking about NFT itself because, as Gio said, we over not like less than a year ago we did an episode. And if you want to check out through our Black Seinfeld archive through the podcast, like any type of podcast, type in Black Seinfeld, go to March 18 and check out that episode. It's actually labeled NFT.
Yes.
And by the 40-minute mark is pretty much when we dissect it. And I did re-listen to the episode here just to let you know it is pretty clear. I like how we explained it.
You've done a good
And
job.
I made sure to listen to the episode again so I don't repeat the information. So the first thing I wanted to discuss is like a quick recap. What has happened since then? Yeah, NFT's been here for a while. I did say back last year that the first NFT I saw was Crypto Kitten.
Yes.
Crypto Kitten's been here for a very long time. I seen it before. I looked at it and said, okay, I get it. Sure. Many years later, past 2020, everybody's popping off different type of art styles for NFT.
Mm-hmm.
And I will still, in my opinion, I still think the idea of NFT is pretty cool for certain things. Like the number one example I saw is like a certification. Let's say you do a Coursera or a Udemy course and you want something real and authentic that a corporation could actually like back up and see that you actually did it, it's not fake. Yeah, that's like having a non-fungible token is pretty interesting way to keep that data for yourself. But if you're talking about artwork, music, videos, gifs, pretty much anything dealing tweets, pretty much anything dealing in a digital I say like non-fungible or intangible object.
That's where the blurred lines start to awry, and that's where you say, there's a lot of pullouts with a lot of companies. There's a lot of what's also called, sorry for lack of a better term, but this is the term that they use, pump and dumps are also becoming very apparent and very common in this NFT space.
And well, before we get there,
mm-hmm.
Before I quickly recap the NFT altogether.
Oh yeah, please. Sorry.
So since then, it's not just NFTs. They're the name itself that's popular. It's the type of companies that are coming out of the blue. Those companies are getting more popular. Different art styles, different type of NFTs that I think you'll notice. Apes.
Yes.
Apes are probably the more common one. I feel like that kind of broke out during the summer where you see more and more people using apes. This kind of crypto looking, very digital, hand-picked ones. That one also popped out around the summer. And you could tell like who is really, really interested by their profile and how they talk about it and how they use it. Now, what this NFT kind of shows us is not only has it been part of our culture, or I could say it's the new age 2021 culture. Oh wait, I just want to recorrect something.
Please.
We discussed NFT in 2021, not 2020.
Yeah, it was 2021, Bashtin.
It was
not 2021. Yet. I had no idea what that was in 2020.
Okay. It's pretty much part of our culture now in terms of it's always on the news, it's always trending, and there's always someone trying to pitch to an artist about NFTs. Now, before I get there, I just want to quickly jump on the bro culture.
Please.
As someone that used Twitter for crypto trading or stock trading years ago, the more people you follow, the more you're going to see a whole side of a topic point that you never like really considered. Like I didn't know that people had this type of weird culture against cryptocurrencies where my favorite word that I use like all the time is shill. So like you're pretty much talking about this worthless coin or worthless stock that you want people to invest in, hoping could go up. And once it hits a certain mark, you could just sell it. And you did talk about a quick pump and dump. One of the biggest pump and dump was what's his name? McCoy or McGrader. He's the one that created the software for viruses for computers. You remember who?
McAfee.
McAfee. There you go. Yeah. McAfee was first of all, that guy is crazy. If you ever watch his documentary, um, he pretty much pumped and dumped when he was alive. Pumped and dumped a lot of cryptocurrencies, and that was for me when I felt like the whole thing is like a sham. Like some cryptocurrencies do make sense, many of them
Don't.
don't. Yeah, they don't have a theme.
There,
It's like
yeah. The
it's
pump and dump is the scheme.
it's the scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to look at some NFTs are like the way you look at movies, where you can watch a movie. It's like, wow, this is a good movie. I would like to watch it again. This is a good investment of my time. But some are just like a waste of time where you feel like, well, who put this schlock together? Right? This feels like a VHS tape from the 80s, and I have no idea what it is.
Well,
but you want me to invest in it?
Well, Bashtin, the way in which they get people to invest in these NFTs or some of these coins too is there's a lot of keywords that they like to use or key phrases is, and one of them is, oh, we're gonna use this to change the world. Like this NFT and this coin is gonna be used as a way to give the world clean water, purified water, or this NFT is going to be used to stop world hunger, stuff like that, right? And they always like to use the word this is going to change and revolutionize the world and how we live and how we communicate. And we're so happy to announce that influencer A, artist B, and high profile Twitter user C are all part of this brand with us. And because they're with us, we're going to give you this as well. You get to be part of our Discord, where these people are going to be a part of this Discord that you get to talk to. Also, you get these artwork pictures as well, and you guys can discuss about all this stuff on the Discord. These artworks are going to be it's going to be only 500 available, and each of them are going to be started out at $60,000. Stuff like that, That's some of the tactics that these companies use in order for people to get interested in these platforms.
Yeah, and it's a good way to look at it, because the whole thing is you want to build value.
Mm-hmm.
Because once the value goes up, you're going to make a killer.
Absolutely.
So hoping you could buy something at 40,000 and sell it at 140,000, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. And I think what some of the biggest flags with these practices are the people that they market, a lot of the influencers, a lot of the celebrities that they market towards, because in actuality, those celebrity influencers, they know nothing about the NFT. They've literally just gotten paid to say, hey, I'm a part of this project. So they got their cut already. They know nothing of what the is going on half of the 3/4 of the time. They know nothing of what's going on. All they know is their manager was like, hey, this person is paying us $500,000 to say to just advertise this. That's almost what's been happening for a lot of these NFTs. I mean, you can look at the case with Lil Uzi Vert and his NFT, Tekashi 6ix9ine and his NFT. I was going to say NXT, but NFT. There's a lot of Lil Pump, the freaking Island Boys. Yeah, the damn Island Boys. There's so many of these influencers that really just, and I don't know if they even know, like because it's kind of scamish of what they're doing, because they're taking their fan base who are loyal to them, and they're presenting them this sort of business opportunity for them to invest in, only to not get what they've been promised, or kind of be shady with what the NFT actually comes with. And then as soon as they invest in the NFT, that worth of that NFT just immediately plummets, and they're out of thousands of dollars, and it's all just shady. And then once the thing goes bust, you'll never hear from that company again. The artist or the influencer will delete all the tweets or all mentions of said NFT, and it's all really gross. And I think that's some of the things that stir people away now from NFTs as a whole.
Yeah. And
I hope I
I
explained that right.
yeah, you did a good job.
Okay.
I think so. I do think NFTs itself is confusing, especially if you don't know what it is. I do
Exactly.
think if you're not on the internet for a very long time, you might not even pick it up. Because if you hear it in the real world, you're going to for let's like skip over it because it doesn't really attract you
Mm-hmm.
unless you know what NFT is and someone brings like no, it's like brings it up within the conversation. It's like I bought this ape for like $3,000 and the value went up 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great, and that's it. Keep that conversation going uh towards another direction. But that's kind of how I look at NFT. I don't really see it so much in the real world compared to people that are trying to make money really quickly. It's the
Absolutely.
same thing as like doing stocks and quickly doing like margin calls because you saw someone tweet like, "Oh, this might happen." So it does have its uh I don't really see any benefits to it
Mm.
just yet. Like I said, I think this was a good idea that just went out of hand really quickly. And
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much the biggest problem with crypto.
It's not regulated.
It's not regulated, there's no rules. And many people think it's a great thing. It's like, well, everything needs rules because you need consistency, you need stability. I understand we want to build in value the same way that if we invest in gold or silver,
Mm-hmm.
everything rises up especially if the quote unquote economy goes down, gold goes up because we want to put our money into a value system. But if money goes down and you put that money in like a bunch of NFTs and you put it in your folder, I
Mm-hmm.
mean in your folder, in your wallet, your complex wallet that's really hard to crack,
Mm-hmm.
man, you just hope that the value just keeps getting higher and higher. So once you sell, because eventually you should sell, because that's the whole goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just this whole ownership of not of wealth. It's really just it's not like owning a painting, is it?
It's
Like
not
to most
owning a
people?
paint. I see, and that's the thing when it comes to NFTs and the artwork and the tweets and all that stuff is how much really is that worth to you? That's the huge thing. That's the key about all of this stuff is how much is that art that you supposedly own because at any moment that person that created the NFT, they can take the money and run and disconnect that link and you no longer really own it anymore. What if Jack Dorsey gets rid of the tweet, some of his Twitter tweets, and you don't own that NFT anymore? You
No,
know,
no, it doesn't work like that.
some NFTs do work like that, unfortunately.
um, so we could go back to the word of the day, minted, right?
Please.
So if you're talking about mint, we can pretty much mint anything, right? We could mint all the Black Seinfeld covers that I've been making since 2017,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just mint it and put it for sale. Black Seinfeld NFTs. Buy the covers. Buy these covers where we did last year, the NFT episode last year. Um, and then we sell it for a profit. But now the person that bought our NFT will sell it for a profit too, and we get a little piece of that over and over and over again. But let's say, well, first of all, I will never mint our stuff, but let's say someone minted our stuff for us,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't tell us and started selling it.
Using our likeness with our one not no knowledge of it, but two, if they do come to us and say, "Hey, we want to give you an NFT," and you say no, and they do it anyways.
Yeah. Let's say they started using all our covers, and let's say they put like a 9x9, right? From like March to June.
Mm-hmm.
And they start selling it. Like now, what could I do? Because yeah, I designed it. I have the actual file, but they minted it. It's now part of a blockchain, and they
Mm-hmm.
could just sell it, and that's it. And that's kind of the biggest problem that we're seeing today, where many artists are seeing their own artwork being stolen, because the whole thing is about creativity, right? You need to
Mm-hmm.
be creative in order to build something that people want to buy in the first place. Like the first NFTs that really really popped off were like just a bunch of Bojacks, right? A bunch
Yes.
of memes that no one really cared. That like this corny memes, and those had value. Now these whole apes have value.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed quickly within like 6 months.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
but without losing track of the topic, a lot of people's artwork are being stolen.
And
At the,
likenesses are being stolen. And look at Lil Yachty, who finally he was suing this NFT seller for using his likeness to raise $6.5 million without his consent.
yeah, and I can actually like dive into that a little bit because right now, if you ever heard of Web3,
I have not heard of Web3.
so Web3 is pretty much like the internet on the blockchain, like to separate it from like ISPs and stuff. Because we want to be free. What's more free than being on a blockchain that burns billions and billions of amount of energy every single time you have to mine something?
Mm.
And just to quickly talk about like mining, it's getting more expensive to mine something. So Gio, if I were to send you an NFT, it might cost me out of my pocket $90 just to send you one NFT because of how much like power and how
Yeah,
expensive it is to mine the NFT. I mean, in terms of like sending it to you,
right.
it's just getting out of hand. But that's not what I want to talk
No,
about.
but
I
please.
want to talk about music, right?
Yes.
And how a lot of these companies are coming out of the woodworks, giving you, the listener, ways to buy pieces of like the artist's music. So I use like Little Pump for an example,
Yes.
and there's this company called Opulus, right?
Yes.
Opulus is the company that Lil Yachty's suing.
Mm-hmm. And the
Just give you
founder is Lee Parsons.
Lee Parsons, and he also is the founder of Diddle Music. And it's funny, like I do invest in the Algorand blockchain, which is what this is built on, which is funny. I'm just letting people know I am an investor of certain cryptocurrencies, but I'm not an investor of NFTs. So I do have my my mindset differently. But to give you a quick example of like how music works, Little um Little Pump had an unreleased song with Soldier Boy called Mona Lisa, right? So they put it on the blockchain. They minted it, turned it into an NFT, and me, a fan, I'm not a fan of Little Pump, but let's say I would pay money just to own a fraction of the share. So when the track comes out in the future and it's making money, that money is going straight to me. Now, it sounds fine once you're an artist that's with it. Like you're with the program, you want like your unreleased songs to be you want to share it with your fan base. Go ahead.
Mm.
They buy a piece, it's whatever. You're pretty much selling like a like an unsold product.
Word.
Like
Imagine if I can get Lil Wayne's "I Feel Like Dying." Remember that track?
yeah,
That was unreleased. What? As an
yeah.
NFT, I'd make a killing
If they sell it though.
if they sell it.
Yeah, this is an unreleased track. It's not on. I can't go on Tidal and find it. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know the stats of it too. Like if it does go and release and people are buying it, how do I know? How do I know like how much do people buy it?
Mm.
Like how does that really work? Are they just going to like send money through to me because I own parts of it? The technology within itself doesn't really add up to me. But the reason Lil Yachty is suing them is because they use like exclusive NFTs from like Lil Yachty and Kyle, and they were just promoting it, saying like, "Oh, these artists also are putting their music on this type of service as well." And of course, I think word got around to Lil Yachty, and he wasn't too happy about that, and started a lawsuit of $6.5 million. But
Good
that's how
for
much they
him.
gross. I don't think the lawsuit itself is for that. I think that's just what the company has made over the past couple months since they
Yeah.
started back in November.
Yeah. He's just suing them, and they raised around $6.5 million by just using his likeness alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's a lot of other companies that are very similar to it too as well. There's Royale, there's One Off,
Mm-hmm.
even Nas is part of a platform where he's able to use most of his music from, remember he has his own record label, Mass Appeal,
Right.
and some of his songs from the King Disease too, you could buy royalties off of that.
Ooh.
You could get the NFTs off of that.
Wow.
Quincy Jones is also backed by also backs the NFT in partnership with WMG,
What the?
aka Warner Music Group.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
come on,
That
it's like
sounds a bit more legit now.
no, but it's not. That's why I'm trying to say. It's like if you throw corporations in the mix,
Mm-hmm.
you think that it's like maybe a better outcome for the artist, but I think
Right.
it's the same thing as these scam groups because you can look at it as like money laundering because it doesn't go through anywhere. All you're doing
Hmm.
is buying these pieces of artwork that has value of it, and then you just have it. It's like so you have $500,000 worth of NFTs, but no one's taxing it, right? So all
Hmm.
this music that you're selling is gonna be like just in this NFT and no one's taxing it.
They're gonna
And
learn about it in like 5, 10 years. They're gonna
no,
catch up on it
but you wouldn't
during
be
that
able
time.
to tax it until you sell it and then you cash out. Once you
Mm.
cash out, then you gotta tax it.
Ah.
But what if now this is pretty much this is why this episode is getting a little long of NFTs.
Yeah, we're getting into gray territory here.
What if, for example, there's this company called Fly Fish Club,
Fly Fish Club. Okay.
and it's a restaurant group. And in order for you to get in a restaurant, you have to have their minted NFTs, right? I think the first round NFT is like 6,000, and the second tier is like 14K, right? So in order for you to eat there, you need NFTs like a membership club. But this membership also means you're a part owner of the establishment as
Huh.
well. There's like a whole 3 minute video on YouTube about it.
Huh.
So right, so like it gives you this kind of sense. I don't know if I agree with it. I do think it's a bit scummy. It's like, all right, just create a membership, but it's like now you are a part owner, if you really are, of this restaurant, and now your membership you could resell it. You could
Yeah,
sell it
you
to
could
somebody
flip
that
it.
wants to eat
You
there.
could flip that word.
You
Like
could rent it.
word. You know what this is sort of
You could
reminding
lease
me
it.
of? This sort of reminds me of, remember when Clubhouse was at its like cusp of popularity and you needed invites in order for you to get in? People were selling invites. The people were selling invites in order for them to get into Clubhouse. This is what this kind of reminds me of a little bit.
And I'm glad you brought that example because it's pretty much as scummy as that.
Yeah,
Because think about it, a membership to a yacht club, right? Or even a golf club, you
definitely.
just pay like the maintenance fee, the yearly fee, and the club fee to get into events, and that's it. It's consistent. You can't, maybe you can have like not a founder's fee, but a referral,
You might get
right?
a deal or two.
You might get a deal if you refer 3 members and they
Mm-hmm.
pay on time for a year. You might get a little cut. Cool. But for you and your membership to be this digivice that you could flip or even rent out so someone could experience quality, quote unquote, cuisine, then I don't know what the future is going to be for us, to be honest. If things like this pop off, and I think they will.
It's
I,
definitely gonna pop off, Bash.
I think they will.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, again, similar to what cryptocurrency was earlier on with the scammy things, it's gonna be like this for a while with NFTs. I know crypto's sort of slowing down a little bit with the tokens because NFTs are now the new hot commodity.
Oh yeah, I'm down bad with crypto, bro. Down bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to hold. I didn't delete anything, but I just removed the app so I don't look at it.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. But I think
Long-term investor over here.
there you go. That's the plan. That is the plan. It's sort of like that episode of Atlanta where Darius took Earl to go to buy some puppies, to make puppies, and Earl was like, "Yo, I need money now, Darius. I need money now because I'm broke, and broke people think about eating now because they're hungry right now, right?" And he's like, "Yo, trust me. Within a couple months' time, you're gonna make like what was it, like $5,000?"
Yeah.
And then season 2 is like, "Yo, here's that 5,000," and he totally forgot about it. That's you. You're Earl. You're Earl right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to stunt on you.
There, there it is.
The whole episode's about stunting.
There it is. But yeah, man, I think since this thing is a hot commodity now, I think there's a lot of money to go around and a lot of people to scam because, again, I really feel that a lot of people don't actually know what an NFT is, and they see their favorite influencer, celebrity attach themselves to it, like a Floyd Mayweather, or again the Island Boys, or just you can just go
Couple of
and
NBA. It could be regular people too. It could
yeah,
be a person that plays video games like on Twitch.
right,
It could be a couple
absolutely.
of NBA
It
players
could be
that just
Pokimane who has an NFT or is a partner
no,
with an
she doesn't.
NFT.
Nope, she doesn't.
I'm just using her as an. I don't know all the Twitch
Then
streamers.
don't randomly
I'm
don't
sorry,
random
Pokimane. All right,
don't
I just know
randomly name names.
I just know her. That's it. Okay.
No, none of them. Most of the big ones like her are not interested in NFTs,
Good.
and that's kind of like the safe space too, where large people understand that they're not interested in doing it. I
Right.
did see somebody's email, um, they're all the email, and you can see just lines and lines of people reaching out like cold
Yeah.
emails. Hey,
Absolutely.
let's make an NFT together.
Right. Yes. Or you can go on someone's Discord server, just Discord account. That's a that is a part of that crypto NFT community, and you're gonna see a lot of messages. I saw a lot of messages with one of my clients today. Almost 3/4 of messages are all NFT scams, or oh hey, you should invest into this NFT. We're gonna change the world, and it was really alarming and shocking.
Yeah, and that's how. Hey, I'm gonna go back to my favorite two words: shilling. You gotta shill these products.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just gotta make sure that people know what it is. So once they have the money or the opportunity to get it, they'll be able to,
go
waste
Ghost.
money or spend it on it. Like I said, I do find NFTs to be very interesting, but I do see the culture being very abusive and toxic right now,
One hundred
and
percent.
it's full of scammers and fakes, just like every other culture too.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but just talking about like the music company that WMG connected to. In December, they released a Whitney Houston record that she made when she was 17
Oh,
and was bought as an NFT for about $1 million.
whoa.
And the and it was an auction off the One Of NFT platform. And another thing about scam, my favorite type of scam is green, right? Green, as in eco-friendly green. So
That's the key word. That's the key word right there. We're gonna change the world. We're gonna help the world out. We're gonna save
yeah,
world hunger. We're gonna purify all the water. We're gonna, I don't know. We're gonna,
purified all the water through a blockchain. Explain that to me. I
yeah,
never.
yeah. Through this token, we're gonna purify all the water to all the third world countries, and so they can all have drinking water. That is a
Yeah,
real one. I'm not even joking.
no, I know, but they're all the same thing. Talk about blockchain, and hey, people, I'm going to give you the definition of blockchain.
Please
Blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that's duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. Right?
put it in layman's terms for the people that don't know what you just said.
It's basically a file cabinet. That's it. Every time you have something, you print it, you put it in the file cabinet. It's organized. And this file cabinet is in everybody's house. All you have to do is go on your computer, double click, bam, there's a file cabinet. Everybody can see the file cabinet. No one's hiding. You cannot hide. You cannot delete. You cannot, like, if you remove something from the file cabinet, they know you removed it, what time, what place you removed this file from the file cabinet. That's pretty much what a blockchain is.
That was pretty well said.
So, but yeah, I do feel like the technology could be used better, but that means you will have to regulate it better. But if we can't even regulate scam phone calls, how can we regulate this?
They're not, Bashtin. And I assure you, the government really doesn't understand what this is yet either. So we're not going to get any regulations for a while. And as long as they're these NFTs, there will always be a Jordan Belfort out here, charismatic as hell, attached to someone famous, looking for a way to scam you people out of your hard-earned money. And we here at Black Seinfeld, we recognize that. We see that. We're telling you to like what Nancy Reagan said. Just say no.
Is that what we're gonna do now? Like every
Just say
episode,
no.
just say no to NFTs.
Just say no to NFTs like
They're
Nancy
not-
Reagan.
They're not good for us. They won't do anything good for us.
I mean, if you still want to be part of the NFT community, by all means, just understand what you're getting yourself into. Do the proper homework. Do what is necessary for you to not get scammed out here. I don't want to see you with a damn ape on your Twitter bio. I don't want to see that.
Keep it low key. But
Keep
how
it
will
low
people
key.
know? How will people know I'm worth 200,000 digital dollars?
See, but that's the thing. You don't need to lead with your cryptocurrency. You don't need to. Okay, that's the problem with y'all nowadays, man. You try to lead with your money. You try to lead with these assets, and look what happens. People want those assets, and it blows up in your face. That's the problem nowadays. You get too greedy.
Yeah, I do think this kind of dips into the greediness a little bit too much, because you could be a whole personality online and talk about crypto. It's like, well, now we know that you're spending money on this.
Yeah, greed.
Compared to if you have a fake account focusing on stocks, which a lot of people do.
Greed bashing in any sort of currency, whether it be cryptocurrency, real money, greed will always be the fall of man. Always.
But I don't think this will destroy New Yorkers.
No.
Sports bet and sports trading will.
Oh, 100%.
As we discussed 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, dude. I see so many people who are losing a crap ton of money right now on these sports betting. But Bashtin, I have not done any sports betting yet, but there's one sports bet I will take. I will happily do a parlay in it. I will happily throw at least $200 to $500 in this betting pool, and it has nothing to do with sports, and it has everything to do with when Kanye West is dropping down to 2. I will throw money into that pool. That will be a great bet to put in. And hey, everyone who has Caesars, FanDuel, DraftKings, I want Black Sign for One Star 10% because we came up with this idea. Put that as a bet. When Kanye West will drop his album down to 2, because I guarantee it is not 2/22/22. Hell no. No way. What say you, Bash? It's been 1 full month since we have not mentioned Kanye or Drake. I feel like it's Black History Month. We have our one time to do it for this month.
I believe it. I believe he will drop either out around the 22nd.
What does that mean?
What do you believe? Like, do you believe a month or 2 months out? I believe if it's not the 22nd, it could be the 23rd or the 25th. That's what I believe. I believe the month of February.
I do not believe the month of February at all, Bashtin. And the reason why I don't believe the month of February at all is because I sent you a couple of tweets earlier on, and you gave me the question mark. And those tweets were the time where Kanye West said he was gearing up to drop an album on this specific date, right? And he did not do it. And it's still posted up on his Twitter, right?
So he posted something recently. My focus is on building real products in the real world, real food, real clothes, real shelter. Do not ask me to do blank NFT. Yay, ask me later.
Absolutely. Hey, I love the fact that Ye was able to destroy the whole bro NFT community with one single tweet, with one single picture. But however,
this man with all that power.
no one man should have all that power, but Ye has that power. However, as much as I love Ye is similar to the boy who cried wolf. Ye is the man who cried album release. Okay, he always gives us these album release dates, and he never sticks to them. Okay, mind you, Dondo's supposed to come out in 2020, Bashtin. That did not happen, sir. Remember that. That was supposed to come out July 2020. That didn't happen. Life of Pablo was supposed to drop Valentine's Day. That didn't happen. Yandi didn't even happen. That was supposed to come out 2018, and I showed you that. I showed you that tweet. That didn't happen. All right. Let's even go back. Late Registration was supposed to drop like early summer 2005. It dropped later summer 2005.
I don't know about the old joints. I didn't have access to internet like that back then.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was supposed to drop summertime. It dropped winter.
The whole album leaked like 4 months before it came out.
Exactly. It dropped winter. So I'm just saying, Kanye, he's basically the old the old toxic ex that comes back around. You know the one. You have your life all together. You feel like you know who you are as a person. You're all settled down with this person who makes you feel normal, and then the old toxic Brent Faiyaz ass ninja comes back around, telling you sweet nothings in your ear, and you know he's full of crap, but because you still have that love for him, you want to believe him. Yes, Kanye is that one. Kanye is the boy who cried album release, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it, and that's why all of you online betting apps, I want to throw my money in this. When Kanye West is dropping this album, he's not dropping it in this first quarter. No, I'm saying he's dropping it summertime. If not, April the latest.
April
the latest. This man has 19 days to produce this album to us. 19 days. You think he's really dropping this in 19? No.
Yeah, he could make a song in like 12 hours. He didn't drop it because it wasn't edited. Not enough bass.
See, yes. Hey, if he drops it on 2/22/22, I will eat my words, and you got that. We'll
just do a review.
Yeah, we'll just do a review. But we know Ye, okay? We know this man, okay? Even the whole Donda thing, he came out with the concerts. He said, all right, this is going to drop in July 2021. All right, it's going to drop in April. It's going to drop in August 2021. That thing didn't drop until like one of the last weeks in August on a Sunday, a random ass Sunday. And I didn't even know until I checked Twitter. And I called you.
And he didn't want that. The record label pushed it.
Yes, because they were tired of this crap, Kanye. I'm sick of this. All right. The only time Kanye actually like followed through on a couple of album release dates was Graduation, because he was going up against 50, and then Yeezus, because that was going up against J. Cole and Mac Miller. That's the only two I could think of. Off rip. I don't know about College Dropout. I was too young.
All right, let's get into the first song.
Please.
Today.
Yes.
You know, in order to fit this digital conversation, the first person I always think about listening to digital music is Aphex Twin.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to play some Cornish Acid.
All right, we'll be right back with Black Seinfeld. Here's Aphex Twins. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. That was the Aphex Twins with Cornish Acid. What?
Aphex Twin.
Oh, Aphex Twin. Oh, because
it's like
the PH.
FX,
Yes.
like FX.
Yeah.
FX.
Sorry about that, Bash.
What's your thoughts on this track?
Very futuristic. Felt like I was playing a driving game almost, or just a futuristic video game, but mainly a driving game like Midnight Club or something.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're getting into making music, you should not listen to Aphex Twin.
Wait, why?
Because it's like, I feel like he knows what music is and he decides not to make it. But you're trying to make music. So if you're trying to make what he's making, it's not, you're not fitting within the rules. It's not the safest way to make music.
Hey, sometimes the rules are meant to be broken if you're really good at music.
Hey, in the words of Questlove, you need to baby steps. You need to know the basics before you start breaking rules. You can't start breaking rules and you don't even know what you're doing.
Bashtin, I was gonna say if you're really, really good and you understand the fundamentals, that's what I said. But you just, yeah, man, you ain't let me finish that.
Oh, okay, but yeah, baby steps.
Baby steps. I'm gonna be very honest with you, Bashtin. I am very shocked that you actually wanted me to talk about this whole ordeal that's been happening with Spotify, Joe Rogan, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, now India Ari is steps into the mix. I was completely shocked that you wanted me to talk about this because I'm gonna be completely honest, right? It's Black History Month, man. This is white people problems. I'm sorry, I really feel this way. Like I didn't care. I remember just posting it to you just for
What? This
for
is
its and
this is
gigs.
extremely important.
And
And
I honestly
I
didn't
think it's
care.
foolish
I don't think it's foolish at all,
not to
man.
focus on it as someone that's in the podcast community.
All right, here's the thing. All right, so let me give a bit of background on what's happening. First off, the Joe Rogan Experience. For those of you who do not know, Joe Rogan Experience, hosted by Joe Rogan, has been acquired by Spotify for about $100 million. Joe Rogan started his podcast back around 2009, so he was one of the earliest adapters of the podcast when podcasting was, again, not even a thing yet. It was 2009. It was relatively still a small thing that people didn't understand what it was yet. They didn't understand that purple app that was on their iPods at the time, right? And ever since then, Joe Rogan has been able to acquire at least 11 million listeners per episode per month. And that's freaking wild because within the almost 20 years he's been doing this, right? Joe Rogan has become the top 1% of podcasters, which is
The 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Yes, he is like literally. You may not agree with everything that Joe Rogan talks about. You may not agree with anything Joe Rogan, but like it or not, like he's one of those few people that you don't want to be, but you want to have that sort of success, right? And mind you, he's done that without having huge backing from corporate. He done this by himself, just by having conversations with political activists, political commentators, a lot of his comedic friends, fighters, movie stars. He's able to just sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with them all. And I might make some of you angry by telling you this, but I'm a listener of the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, that's right. I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. Do I listen to it religiously? No. I listen to episodes of people who I want to see him have a conversation with, have a discussion with, whether it be Neil deGrasse Tyson, Freddie Gibbs, Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard. I like a lot of the fighters because Joe Rogan is really. He's really knowledgeable about the art of fighting because I don't know if you know this. This dude is he's like a black belt in Taekwondo when he was a teenager. Of course, he's a commentator for the UFC Ultimate Fighting Championships since UFC like 25, and UFC is almost up to like 400 now. So it's kind of insane.
Interesting.
Yes. So the reason why
just to quickly jump, like I
Please.
also listen to Joe Rogan once in the blue moon.
Right.
Like I said, it's like he knows how to make a conversation a little bit more interesting than the average podcaster.
Right.
Some of them just tend to repeat the same nonsense over and over, and I do think he is nonsensical once we get into this topic real quick. But his OG episodes usually talk about like apes and aliens and
Absolutely
randomness that you could kind of have fun listening to. But now we're in a different age. We're in the 2020 age
where you have to watch what you say to a lot of stuff. So let's get into what's been going on. So back in 2020, no, not even 2020, like 2019, Joe Rogan signed a $100 million deal with Spotify for Spotify to have exclusive rights of the Joe Rogan Experience on Spotify. And ever since then, there have been a lot of people who feel a type of way about it. Some may be actual Spotify workers who have protested the fact that Spotify acquired Joe Rogan because of some of A, some of the people who he has had on the show, and B, some of the things that he has said on the show while having these controversial figures on. I'll say that. Previously, on the Joe Rogan Experience, I'm not his advertiser, but previously he had a controversial doctor on the show by the name of Dr. Robert Malone, right? Who's an infectious disease specialist who was banned on Twitter, Bashtin, for spreading misinformation on COVID-19, right? And Joe Rogan had him on to talk about COVID-19 and what he feels about the virus and why the vaccine may be a sham, blah, 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 right? And there was a lot of outrage over it, so much so that there have been doctors that have been writing to Spotify asking for the removal of the Joe Rogan Experience off of the Spotify platform because Joe Rogan allows a lot of these, I'll say different-minded people to come on and talk about what they feel. You don't want to say anything?
No, yeah, I think you're doing a good job.
Okay.
He creates the platform for people to talk. I get it.
Yes, he creates the platform to people to talk. Whether he's right or wrong, he creates the platform. I think I want to highly emphasize that.
Whether they should never have a platform like his to talk on, I think is very important. But
that's debatable. I'm not going to be one of that. I'm not going to be that person. But that's debatable. We can talk on that. So, Neil Young, 73-year-old rock star, decided to throw his hat into the mix, who also shared his disconcernment of Joe Rogan's platform and that doctor as well for spreading the misinformation of COVID-19. And he wanted the removal of the Joe Rogan Experience off of the Spotify platform, so much so that he wanted to... What's a good way of putting it? Neil Young basically said, it's either you get rid of the Joe Rogan Experience or I'm taking my music away from the Spotify streaming platform. So what Spotify did was, oh, don't worry, Neil, you could get your ish up out of our platform, right?
Yeah.
And basically that's the gist of what's been happening so far. Joni Mitchell also joined in this crusade with Neil Young, and she said the exact same thing too. And you know what Spotify did? Oh, let's see. Joe Rogan Experience or Joni Mitchell's music by Joni Mitchell. So that's what's been happening as of late. India Ari has also stepped up to the plate to join this crusade. And I'm sure Spotify is going to get her ass off of that platform too. But that's what's been happening so far, Bashtin. And I'm going to be completely honest because in the notes I said, here's why I don't give a rat's ass that Neil Young's music is off of the platform. And here's why a lot of people, I feel like, around our age do not care either. We don't listen to no damn Neil Young.
That's not the point.
And I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to go there with that, Bashtin, but I'm keeping it real. I don't care about no damn Neil Young, Joni Mitchell. I don't care. And Spotify isn't going to care either, right, Bashtin? They're not going to care. Because guess what? The way it works is Joe Rogan, whether y'all like it or not, that man is bringing in so much of a damn profit. That man is the number one of the number 1% of podcasters ever right now. He's beating out corporations. He's beating out the New York Times, Daily Mail, all that crap, CNN, Fox. He's beating out all of them with his 11 million listeners monthly. You think Spotify for a quick second is going to get rid of Joe Rogan anytime soon? Are you freaking insane? For Neil Young? Are you high? As a businessman, I wouldn't do so. Who are you? Neil Young is super insignificant in the eyes of Spotify. And I know, Bashtin, I know how you're going to be. I know what you're going to say. Gio, that's not the point. The point is, what he's spreading, it's super harmful. You
No,
see
no, it's
what's
not that.
going
It's
on
not
in
that.
2020. You see
It's
what's
not.
happening. Oh, really? I'm
It's
wrong
not
then.
that.
Oh, please speak your piece.
It's more about Spotify and how they're reacting to the situation.
Okay.
Because, all right, he says super harmful stuff. He's been saying super harmful stuff for a long time. He's had white supremacists on his show. He had Nazis on his show.
That is true.
Right. And he does have this crazy perspective on what's going on with COVID.
I will not deny that. Yes.
All right. So, and his perspective keeps getting worse because if you look at the first perspective, when he first spoke about COVID, it's completely different within the next 8 months. Now, the whole thing is I'm not really interested in the idea of like, pointing out to corporations, hey, deal with the person that you're working with. But in this situation, I do think it's important for Spotify to come out a little bit more and say, like, we understand why you would like Joe Rogan to be removed from a platform. We're contractually obligated and we disagree with everything that he said. The same way that if you're on a TV show on like let's say Fox, right, and you say something offensive, they're going to suspend you for a couple of weeks. Right? Like they need to do something in theory. No, that's what I mean because even in theory, they're not doing anything.
Of course,
that's the
not,
problem.
Bashtin. It's not going to be appealing to their audience.
No, that's the problem. Is they're not interested in the relationship between them and the audience because that's not how Spotify works at all. And that's why I don't use Spotify. I've never once used Spotify. I remember when Spotify first came out, I was like, oh, this is a smart idea, but I was quick never to use them. I use Tidal and I use YouTube Music because I pay. I don't want no ads when I'm watching YouTube on my phone. So.
If you want to get into how much the artists are paid off of their stream on Spotify, that's a whole totally different.
That's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation. And Neil Young did bring that up, but his ass went to go shake hands with Jeff Bezos. So that's a whole nother story for a different day. But continue.
Yeah. But we're pretty much talking about Spotify as a corporation. Yes. This is a huge corporation.
Yes.
They will start investing in more podcasts for the future. And they are.
They are. They absolutely are. That's the future of Spotify right now. They're looking to invest in a lot more podcasters and a lot more established names. So that's why you have guys like Academics with his podcast exclusively to Spotify. That's why you keep seeing his stuff popping up and trending on Twitter too.
But yeah. But in terms of not just them expanding, but this is going to be the face.
He is. He's the face of podcasting, whether you like it or not.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's no matter what, it's still going to look bad. We can still look at semantics, talk about money, but no matter what, it's still going to look bad for everybody. And this could be a start. What happens? And this is my guess. This is my like Sebastian peeping through the future.
Please.
What happens? Stevie Wonder pulls out, right? What happens? These big name acts, because it's always going to start with the big name acts that don't need the money like that, right? Because one of my favorite rappers, Open Mike Eagle, I follow him on Twitter. He talked about like, I can't do that. And it's an understanding.
Right.
Medium actors, small artists, they cannot pull out of Spotify. Spotify is the biggest platform. Of course, you're making the least amount of money, but it has the biggest reach because, of course, the free. But also, Tidal is free as well. Tidal, hit me up. It's going to be a problem. I know you disagree. You don't care, but I do think it's going to be the start of something. And at the end of the day, we're just going to see what Spotify is going to do once they get hit hard, which is their pockets. Because if they're able to lose more money, because it's all about the return on investment at the end of the day, right?
Right.
If they're not getting that ROI from Joe Rogan because of how he's been acting this past year, right? This past year, then they will drop him. But right now, he still has the stats of number one. But like I said, things change. People talk. We're in a different age when we communicate. Of course, our conversation doesn't leave the internet.
Right.
But that's just the start.
There's also that other flip of that coin, Bashtin, where a lot of people do listen to Joe Rogan, and a lot of those people, majority of those people, I will say, they do not share the same thoughts that we do. Okay, they can be on the total other side of the coin,
Totally cool.
and those people are going to continuously listen to Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan has, remember, this man has a high listener count.
Okay,
Right.
but you have to stop thinking about that for a second and just more focus on the situation of the message that he's spreading.
Right.
Yes, he has a higher count. That's not going to change, right?
Right.
But it's about the message that you are spreading, right?
I
And
don't
that's
think,
why they're talking to Spotify.
yeah, and I honestly think because Bashtin, you were touching on a really good point. What if those bigger name artists are going to pull out of Spotify because they don't need
They
the
won't,
money?
though.
And that's exactly what I was going to rebut with. You know damn well they're not going to do that. They're not, because it's not their fight.
Yeah.
It's not their fight.
But I still think they have a chance to have the conversation where Spotify has to do something. Because remember, this is a new game. None of this has ever existed in the history of mankind. This is not a thing. No one has the right theory. Like whatever Spotify does, I can't say is right or wrong, or they're going to handle the situation correctly, because that's not a situation that people deals with.
Right.
If what's his name? What's the Cuomo brother that was on CNN? Chris Cuomo, you a weirdo. He did something. Gone, suspended for a week. He's trying to hide like the things his brother was doing. Gone. Now he's going to sue CNN to do the stuff CNN. Disappear. Like these are things that they could do. Cuomo, remember the joke Cuomo sexuals? Like he was pretty popping.
He was popping
all of last year and the year before last year.
He was
right?
Definitely in 2020. I will say
he was
that.
like the cooler Cuomo, but like we don't know him. He did a whole bit when he got COVID, man. Did we not forget?
Yeah.
He got a lot of fans off that. But seeing and then understood like what he was doing, and even if they were aware, once it came into the limelight, they had to act immediately. Of course, they're going to get sued, and most likely Cuomo will win because contract obligations and stuff. But that's what I mean. It's like corporations do deal with these situations all the time, but you can only do it for so long if you ignore it.
I don't think Spotify's going to have that same integrity as CNN does, as CNN would in that.
It doesn't matter if they don't do it how CNN does it. They're going to do something.
Oh, I disagree. I don't think they're going to do a damn thing.
They have to do something.
Hey, man,
to lose $2 billion, and I know stocks don't really mean a thing, but what happened if that doesn't go up? What happened if it continues going down? This is market value. It's not really signifying anything what the company's worth whatsoever, but just look bad for the stock owners. And at the end of the day, who does Spotify rely on? The stock owners. That's who's going to vote at the end of the quarter. So when someone brings up in the conversation, and as someone that worked at I worked at Tesla before, at a major company.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't like something, they can actually bring it to the table. Of course, it doesn't go anywhere if you don't have the votes, but you could get the votes if you want to. All you have to do is make a campaign, right? I watch Succession. I know how it works. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like it is important. It is important. Is Spotify going to do anything? No, probably not.
Absolutely not.
But the conversation is going to start now. Even if Spotify doesn't do anything.
I honestly think, Bashtin, what you're bringing up, you do make a good point. I also think that, as you said, the $2 billion that they lost, I think it's only going to be, that's because of temporary outrage. Because we as a society nowadays, we find something to get outraged about every week. And every week, as we get outraged about something new, that old thing that we were outraged about a month ago, we're not going to worry about it. We're not even going to care about it in a month from now. Unfortunately, like that's how it is now.
So I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
If celebrity does something, it's like, dude, just blow over. It
will blow over.
It will blow over in like 2 weeks. And the only people who are going to bring it up are people that just don't have your best interest or just hate you, right? Yeah.
Joe Rogan gets canceled every week for something.
But that's the thing about Joe Rogan. Yeah. It's the same people that are focused on him.
Right.
But it's important to know that because he gets canceled every week because it's a new episode every week. And every new episode, he says some wild stuff.
He does.
And so it's like, dude, like if he said like let's say he does 10 episodes, he backtracks, he talks about information, da da da
He's
da da da.
tried.
No. I've watched some of his clips,
Hmm.
right? He doesn't backtrack the way you and I would backtrack, where we're like, okay, I'm wrong. What you said is correct. He will fake backtrack the same way that he did the video on Instagram, where the first 3 minutes of him shilling his ideas, then him fake apologizing. Then The Rock is like, yo, let's get a tequila shot together. So if you
Word.
read the comments. Um, but that's just how it is. It's like at the end of the day, he's going to continue making more episodes. He's going to
100%.
continue saying wild stuff,
Absolutely.
and the people that understand what's going on, they're going to bring it up. It's like, dude, hey Spotify, it's been 3 days. He said something wild. It's been 2 days. He said something wild. He's not the same level as Donald Trump.
Oh no, no, no.
45 was wild 24/7. You
But-
can't outbeat his wildness.
And he remember he was the leader of the free world. Joe Rogan, he's not a political commentator, nor has he ever claimed to be. But he just throws his ideas out there. Just saying, damn, why am I flocking for Joe Rogan?
See, you're shilling for
Why am
Joe
I shilling for
Rogan.
Joe
I'm gonna change the episode. I'll say Joey shills for Joe.
Geo shills for Joe Rogan.
Gio
No,
shills
man,
for Joe Rogan.
That's not
man.
even gonna give me. See, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're just a Joe Rogan, bro. You must be a right wing Republican." I'm like, no, I'm not at all.
Who's your favorite radio host of all time?
My favorite radio host of all time. I see where you're going with this.
Go ahead. Let the people know.
Charlemagne the God.
Charlemagne the God. Man, when I met Gio and he kept talking about Charlemagne the God, I was like, I can't do a show with this guy.
Wow, really?
Nah, I didn't mind. He did have some good takes, but it's
He
just
had
like he's
great
just like
takes.
he's not politically left to the left where the left wants him to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
not.
just get upset, and I don't really care about that. It's not my battle.
It's
That could
not-
be someone else's battle.
Facts.
Um,
That man's
but
tamed it down a whole lot nowadays. I'm just want to say he's tamed it all the way down. This ain't
Yeah.
10 years ago, Charlemagne.
no, I have my understanding.
Right, before
where
he bleached his skin. Allegedly.
if you're up and coming, you kind of back then too. I'm
Yeah,
from
it was
the
different.
from the 2010 era. If you needed a writing job, you had to say something wild on Twitter.
It was different back then.
So for him to say something wild in order to get reactions, then that's how you spread the
Right.
wealth. But
He was
now you got
staying-
the wealth,
Yeah.
you don't really got to
Yeah.
go crazy like that anymore. So is Joe Rogan. He got the wealth. He doesn't have to go crazy.
Not
He
anymore.
doesn't have to flip the switch every time. People love him. There are people that listen to every Joe Rogan podcast that ever came out.
We're Nick DSA, trained by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night.
And that's kind of crazy because his podcasts are 2 to 3 hours, and you're wasting
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours every single 2 to 3 days listening to a new episode.
And no one else can really do that. Like, no one else can do that but Joe Rogan. That's crazy.
I respect his grind.
I
I don't
respect it
respect
too.
him totally.
I respect him. I just don't agree with. I feel like I should say that I don't agree with what everything Joe Rogan says or does. I
Just
just
not a sponsor.
we're not a sponsor. I am not a sponsor for Joe Rogan. I am just a fan of his content. I love it when he talks with fighters, entertainers, comedians, and etc. And I actually enjoy it when he has some political personalities on and he debates them, i.e. Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, dumbass.
But your boy was on there, remember, a long time ago.
He
Andrew
was.
Yang.
Oh yeah,
So-
he was. Why you see you like blowing that up in my face still, huh?
We have episodes to prove you
I
shilling
know.
Andrew Yang.
I know
and,
we do,
and me keep
Bashtin.
telling you he only has one good idea.
I know we do, Bashtin, and you don't have to tell the people what episodes to look at. And I already know the episodes too. I know them by heart, actually. You don't have to do that anymore, okay?
He's like
You were
Marco
right.
Rubio against the Knicks before he got injured. He had one hot game. He's back to shooting 6 points a game.
You were right, Bashtin. Okay, you were right.
Let's get into the next song.
Sure, I want to get into the next song because the final couple of minutes that we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna talk some crap. We're gonna talk some music.
I actually want your song
That-
to be the last song.
Oh, that's gonna be the last song. Okay,
It's going to
great.
be the last song. In order to fit, because the first song I chose that artist,
Yes,
so I do think ending the episode with that song makes more sense.
that does make sense. So who would you like to play next, Bash?
Oh, okay. I'm going to play Arba.
Love her.
Unlock.
Love this song.
by her and Playboy Cardi. Check it out.
That was Arba featuring Playboy Cardi. Unlock It. One of my favorite tracks. Listen to this. Now live Bash. I listened to this like 2-3 weeks ago, and I'm like, I don't know how I stumbled upon it.
Music videos trending on YouTube.
It was
algorithm.
Yeah, I guess so.
Great music video though.
Yeah, very weird. Very. It gave a lot of ode to like the 90s and like the futuristic world or like what we thought computers would be like.
Yeah, it's almost like Matrix 4.
You still have it out for that movie, bud.
Yeah, I think everybody should have it out for that movie.
I did not see Matrix 4.
You should.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like watching bad movies. You know this about me. I don't like paying for bad movies. I don't like it.
It's not about paying. I have a whole HBO account just for you, bro.
I just wanted to watch Harry Potter, sir. That's all. Just the Harry Potter reunion. That's all I wanted to see.
I haven't even watched that one yet.
You haven't?
No, like I have no reason to. That's not true. I have a lot of reason to, but all right, let's get into the last topic
please
of today.
Yes, there's a lot of music and no, let me recant that. There's not been a lot of music coming out because January has always been a dry month, but we actually got 2 good records that came out that month. And Capri Sun's FKA Twigs mixtape. Also, of course, Dawn FM that kicked off the year, right? And if you want to even go back to December, you can listen to Magic from Nas. I can't believe I just said that. Yes, a Nas album. It's really good. Hove, I need you, damn it. You get in the damn studio, all right? I'm tired of this, all right? Nas is on your ass. But what we have been seeing, Bashtin, is a lot of festival lineup announcements. And
wait. Before we say that,
yeah,
we're still in the pandemic.
Oh yeah, we are still in the pandemic.
Okay, now you can continue. Just letting people know we're still in the pandemic. We're going to talk about these dope festivals, though.
We are still in the pandemic, but there are new festival lineups that have been announced, and also new festivals that have been announced. As the days get longer and the weather is going to get warmer, the festival season will be fastly upon us. And there's one festival in particular, Bashtin, that has been making all the rounds for the past 2 weeks, and that has been the When We Were Young festival. And the reason why this festival in particular has been getting so much
hype,
yes, is the fact that a lot of these bands, it's a lot of pop punk bands, it's a lot of emo punk bands that a lot of us people around our age have grew up with in the early 2000s, such as My Chemical Romance, Paramore, AFI, Taking Back Sunday. You have Avril Lavigne, Jimmy Eat World, and then
is that really Avril Lavigne?
It says Avril Lavigne.
But is it Avril Lavigne?
She's not a clone, Bashtin. But yes, there's a lot of early pop punk bands that are going to be part of this When We Were Young festival. And so a lot of people are excited for it. A lot of people presumably bought tickets for it. There's going to be 3 stages, and as soon as this stuff went on sale, it immediately sold out. But then when we started looking at the full lineup and people realized that this was only going to be one day, there's a lot of concerns that started to happen. One concern being that there's almost 50 acts alone with this lineup, and initially this was only going to be for one day, 3 stages. So people started doing the math, because I believe the festival is going to begin during the afternoon and end at night. And so when people started doing the math and started dividing up the time on how much each set would be, it'd be like at least 30 minutes per act, which isn't hardly enough time, but also for the fact that it was only one day. That was one of the main concerns that started happening. So what the organizers of this event, which was Live Nation, decided
Oh, what?
Live
Anyways.
Nation decided to do was they decided to um they added another date, which was the 23rd of October, and that got sold out. And then they added another date, which was October 29th. But the problem is, it's still that full lineup, 3 stages each day, which I still think is an issue because for the fact that they have 50 bands playing, it should at least be like normal festivals where the lineup should be broken up by each day. But no, you're getting all of that music, all of those bands within that particular day. And the fact that these shows have been sold out, I am very concerned about the safety and the well-being of the people. And
But they added days, so
they have added days, which has rectified the concern that people have had. But also, I still feel like this could have been planned out a lot better in just the lineup, because again, it's like 50 bands playing.
I do feel like some of these bands don't play as often as they used to.
Oh
So
yeah,
it could
absolutely
be a
not.
money thing where they say, hey, if we're able to uh make X amount or sell X amount of tickets, we could add a second day and add a third day.
Yeah.
Because I see it's on the 22nd, the 23rd, and also the 29th of October. And I'm assuming it's almost like Coachella, where Coachella is a 2 week thing, but we always focus on week one.
Right.
So it's week two, like the artists are still there. It's just like either the same venue or other venues around the same area of Coachella.
It's a
So it
lot
is pretty cool
calmer.
to see this. When we were young, just people or bands while we were growing up through our adolescence and during our dark emo ages where we had no reason to be sad. We're doing just fine. No reason to be sad. Why am I so dark?
Uh,
You know?
yeah.
Oh,
I kind of want to go. I saw the ticket prices and yeeks.
yeah. It's in Las
It
Vegas.
is in Vegas.
So you're not just going there to have a good time,
No,
going there to lose money.
you're going for a Vegas experience
So, you go into a
immediately.
room, there's no clock, there's no windows.
Hmm.
So you only assume it's 1 a.m., but it's actually been there. You've been there for like 3 days. So,
Yeah, yeah. That sounds like Vegas in a nutshell.
so I wanted to talk about another fest. This inspired me when you hit me up and you wanted to discuss this. This inspired me about another festival, which I would like to say I grew up listening to really through my adolescence, but I could say like during more of my teenage high school years. And it's the Smokers Club Festival, which is going to be one day, April 30th in Southern California. Now, this festival, like what I say is something that is an interesting experience is because the artist that's going to be there. And
Yes,
the first artist that I saw was Wiz Khalifa, but Wiz Khalifa performing Kush and Orange Juice.
that is a big one. That is a big ting there.
And I think that's insane
Yes.
because recently Lupe Fiasco has been going on tour performing Food and Liquor, which is also in the show as well. And I thought it's like, wow, this is a smart idea. Nas done it for Illmatic, and I can't think of any other artist that ever did it in the top of my mind right now. But it's like, wow, that would be pretty cool if Wiz Khalifa could just perform like Kush and OJ for us, because that's like a classic within itself,
Hove with B
especially during the
sides.
mixtape era. Say again?
Hove with B sides, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. It's like if Hove was able to just rap the entire Blueprint one
Oh,
and sell that as a ticket.
oh. People would go.
Oh,
I'd
oh,
go. What? I would go to that. He's singing
it's
Takeover? Are you nuts? Yeah, I'm going.
oh yeah, he has to sing Takeover. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But there's other artists that I saw that I wish were pretty big. Now like Chitty Bang or Asher Roth, Pac Div,
Mm-hmm.
Casey Veggie, Summer Janice, the cool kids.
Oh,
The,
shoot. Cool kids are going?
yeah. So those are like artists. I used Dom Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Young Lean, Danny Brown. Like, but these are artists that are pretty popular right now.
Oh,
But
look,
also,
Krayshawn is in this.
Krayshawn is in this.
I want to hear
Sure.
Gucci Gucci. Hey, don't do that, Krayshawn. Gucci Gucci was cool. That's
No,
all we want to hear.
it was an amazing song
Great song.
for a insane time, and she had
Yes.
a $1 million contract with Sony,
Yeah.
only for her to sell 11,000 copies the first week.
Yeah, man. It was bad.
Went triple plastics. And it helped how when she was filming the music video, most of the people from Odd Future were there, so they're in
Right.
the video by chance. By chance, they were there,
Mm-hmm.
and
Didn't her
people
sister
just
say
got
the
hyped
N-word?
up. Yeah, her sister, no, but someone
Yeah.
from her crew
Said
who
the
actually
N-word.
has a mixtape with
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wasn't it
good
V
time.
Nasty?
It'd be nasty, yeah.
Yeah.
What an era! What
Great
an era!
times, man. We were in high school, dude.
What an era! And of course, Schoolboy Q is performing Oxymoron, and the three main headliners are Kid Cudi, A$AP Rocky, and Playboy Cardi, which is like all around a classic album, classic 2011 revision.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it. And of course, the last, and for us people in New York, we always have the Governor's Ball. I like Governor's Ball. I think it's great. It's on Randall's Island, not on Governor's Island.
Yeah,
That's the funny part.
But this year,
Oh wait, no, it's in City
it's gonna
Field
be in the
this
City
year.
Field this year, bud. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it is a better experience, stage presence wise, and you don't have to deal so much with grass. It's all about cement. So I think
Right.
that's a better field.
Oh.
Kid Cudi, Halsey,
Yes.
and J.
Your-
Cole are
your
the
guy.
main headliners.
I'm
My
not-
guy. Yeah, JPEG Mafia is going to be there first day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think the first day is the best lineup, and I'm not gonna lie. I have soul bias on Ali and AJ.
Interesting. Jack Harlow, Migos, and I guess JPEG Mafia, Channel Threes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Coi Leray.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
You know,
If you want to hear the big purr herself, but it's legit Ali and AJ. I want to hear that potential breakup song
and Ali
live.
and AJ. Oh yeah, and Shaq is going to be there too. Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal.
Is
I
he
don't know if his breath control is going to be that great, but hopefully he'd be great.
now? Is he gonna bring out the Wu-Tang? That's a big question here, because if this is Shaq Diesel, is he gonna perform stuff like East Coast Shaq stuff or West Coast Shaq stuff? Because he's in the East Coast, he's got to do the East Coast Shaq stuff, and he's got to bring out some Wu-Tang members. We had this discussion last week, actually.
Yeah, we had this discussion last week, and I actually thought about it over the week, and it's more about if he was to do a versus battle, maybe the last 10 songs of that 20 is what he will perform. That's what I think.
Who would you want Shaq to go up against in a versus battle?
Damian Lillard, I don't know.
I had a feeling you were gonna say either Damian Lillard or like Iman Shumpert.
Iman Shumpert doesn't have any records though.
He does. He has a couple.
No album.
Oh, no. It's only.
I think
Dame
Shaq
Dollar.
has like 2 albums.
He does, and then he has a whole damn movie too about
and,
him rapping.
and he has a song with Biggie.
He does have a song with Biggie.
And he has a song with Kobe.
He has a movie where he was a rapping genie. Kazam.
Yeah, I'm talking about that. Flume, Rowdy Rich, Joe G, YG, your boy Denzel Curry also came out with a new song. I think album coming soon.
I ain't like the song like that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And then of course you're going to see Playboy Cardi again. Get
Right.
Nada. GID. That's another one of your boys.
Love
Duckworth.
JID.
100 Gex.
Yes.
Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah, this sounds like an all around good show.
Yeah.
I think most of these festivals are great, but we're still in a pandemic. I think it's important. I know these artists need to get paid. I went to a concert. Shout out to JPEG Mafia. I went to his concert.
You did.
Good show.
Mhm.
Weird fans, but good show. Great show. Weird fans. I don't know why people are there. I would like to understand the fans a little bit more.
Did you talk
But I
to
was
any of the
there.
fans?
No, I wasn't there to chatter. I was there to enjoy my JPEG Mafia experience and then dip.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, festivals are back in full fledged 2022. We're looking at all these festivals that are coming out.
Yep.
It's going to be packed. It's
Hmm.
going to be hype. It's going to be interesting. We're still in a pandemic. I wonder how they're going to deal with that. Hopefully, no new strain comes to, I don't know, disrupt the weather.
Don't ruin it, Bastion.
Mm.
Don't ruin it, please.
But yes, uh, is there anything else you would like to discuss before we, do our sign-ins and play that last song? To
Yes, there is one last thing I'd like to say. I'd like to just have a nice braggadocio moment, just just one time for New York people, New York niggas, stand up, man, cause we are running the game, all right. We got the trifecta going, all right. Beyonce, the New York nigga, man. Kim Kardashian is with a gentleman from New York, and now Rihanna has been locked down by the one, the only, Mr. ASAP Rocky himself.
Pretty
Rihanna's
Flacco.
pretty boy Flacco. Hoes is what I'm repping. That's right. ASAP Rocky has impregnated Rihanna, people. That's right. Clap it up for ASAP Rocky locking down that billionaire. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for him. And it
We're
just,
never gonna get any music from A$AP Rocky.
or Rihanna ever again. Especially Rihanna now. She's too busy being a mommy now and being a billionaire with Savage Fenty and all that stuff. But you know what? I'm so happy for ASAP Rocky. And it just goes to show once again, Bashtin, that New York fellas are undefeated in the game. We're top dog. We're top dollar right now. I'm sorry. It just is what it is now.
Been top dollar for a long time.
It's right. But, this is just that final stamp, that final seal of approval, if you will. And I know one person who's
Wait. So the price has gone up.
the stock has gone up for New York men, ladies. Take advantage. You want someone who's loyal, that's down for you, that'll ride with you.
What did Fat Joe say?
Yesterday's price was not today's price, ladies. The stock has gone up for New York men. Okay? All right? We top stocks right now, okay?
Yesterday's price was not today's price.
You better get your investments while you can. All right? There's a lot of
Geo NFT, bro.
That's right. Join the New York Men NFT. All right, ladies? Invest now. You get yourself a New York man. I'm telling you. I know there's one man out there who must be really hurt that this has happened. And no, it's not Chris Brown, as many of you have been saying. No. It is one Aubrey Graham. It is one Drake. The first thing that came to mind, Bash, I'm like, oh my God, Drake has got to be out here crying. He's writing his beige ballads as we speak. And Take Care 2 is going to be a classic album. I feel it. And this is the one album where I actually want Drake to give me some beige ballads.
Wait, why you keep saying Take Care too? Like you
don't think he's gonna be in his feelings?
Well, yeah, I do think so. But I thought he was in his feelings a lot in the last album.
That's
when we
because of
dissected, we dissected. No, it's about like a lot of dudes in that album and a lot of petty on women. I don't know. I do have a problem with how he writes about women's music.
That is true. But this man Drake has said publicly on television and an award show that I've been in love with this woman since blah, 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 since the first day I met her. Robin Rihanna Fenty. This award's for you. Remember that. Drake was in love with that woman. All right? And now she's off with the New York nigga. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Remember back in 20, I think it was like 8 years ago, A$AP Rocky dropped Fashion Killer.
He did.
And it was just like Rihanna, just shopping with Rihanna. That's the music video. That's it.
Yes. Yes.
Her bullet go boom, boom, bang, bang. That was a fire track.
That was one of the only songs he had with Rihanna. Drake has had countless songs with Rihanna. Oh, nah, nah.
No, Rihanna was on that song, but she was in the music video.
That's a good point. what I'm saying also is Drake has had countless songs with Rihanna. Oh, nah, nah, what's my name? Oh, nah, nah, what's my name? He's had countless hits with Rihanna.
So Take Care, right? That's the song.
Take Care is what we are going out to, and just listen close to the words. Listen to what is being said, because ironically enough, this is featuring Rihanna.
Just want to quickly say before we go, this is sampled by Gil Scott Heron, a track that he did with Jamie XX. I think he passed away by then, but yeah. But yeah, that's by Seinfeld. Listen to us next week, same time, 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. If you want to check us out on all our social medias, Black Seinfeld NY. If you want to hear our older episodes, go on any podcast, Black Seinfeld. And if you want to email us, do you have any questions or want to send us some music, blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. Gio, play us out.
This is for you, Aubrey. I hope you're okay.